Back with more Doctor Who Flux. This is episode 6, the finale. It all comes down to this, and then in 3 weeks we get special. But it all comes down to this for the Flux arc, I would assume. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one reaction-wise, just because God knows what's going to happen. But also, things are kind of in a flux, in terms of us recording this. Connor's actually been in New York for the past week on his hollybobs, and while he was out there, restrictions and stuff changed, guidelines changed in terms of COVID and stuff. So he's now had to isolate upon getting back, which he did like today-ish, the hours I think. So we're going to try and do it over Zoom. Internet may not be kind, so we're going to see exactly how it all goes down. Hopefully it should be alright. But obviously that's going to be why we're not in the same room. So yes, there may be a few like technical issues along the way. We're not quite sure how it's going to go down, but if that is the case, it's going to just be one of those things, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see how they end this whole Flux arc and what they're going to do with it. So yeah, let's just dive right in.
Straight into it.
Running will help.
Wow, what a great solution to that cliffhanger. Gentle runs.
Oh.
Well. I mean, I don't think I needed to necessarily just hit the probing event to knock them out. Oh.
The name's Stewart. Kate Stewart.
Oh.
Haha, I understood that reference.
Yes! Dan! Kate Stewart! Kate Stewart!
Donkey!
She's in 3 places at once?
I guess.
We're going to stop.
We offer the three-fingered hand of uneasy alliance.
I've got another finger for you, mate.
Conversion plate removal, the same moment as contact with swarm. Outside, normal laws of physics. That's the next Weaver Sontaran heading towards us. Oh, come on, Doctor. Just
There you go then.
here and now.
Sure. Here we are again.
Oh.
Oh, heck.
I could do this forever.
I don't know.
Restorative gas composition, that would provoke a predilection.
You any idea what she's talking about?
Not a clue. Normal service.
I'm glad it's not just me who's completely lost.
Let's go.
Okay.
We know a couple who are keen to help the Sontaran cause in exchange for unlimited access to human chocolate. Maybe even the recipe. You could make it yourself.
Chocolate.
Huh.
Hello, Miss.
Well, that was a scene that happened.
How close were we? Are you my companion?
We were lovers.
Well, you left me.
I don't
Oh.
have those memories.
You want to keep things alive. You want creatures to breathe and live.
I mean, I could have told you that.
Species, and I don't know why you want it so much. And I don't know why
That's
you're
fair.
so afraid of the opposite. And then we will play.
What do you mean play?
The final flight.
Chess,
is
Doctor.
glorious.
Or backgammon if you prefer.
It will be beautiful.
She's right.
Okay.
The last of the Lupari. How you must mourn them.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Airlocked out into space. Their bodies now scatter the space lanes.
Oh.
Every single one. Dead.
If only we could have seen you do that horrible thing. Instead of eat chocolate.
Nice blaster action. Where'd you train?
Laser Quest was Ackley. Come on.
We're out. Nice work.
Now what?
Oh god, we didn't think this through.
To accurately identify the exact space-time coordinates of the predicted final Flux event.
You want to know when and where it will happen?
Correct, human scum. The ultimate cataclysm.
Didn't say that.
Will end in success or death.
And the reward for success?
Death. Activate.
Are you?
Eh.
How rude! Try and kill me right now. You can't get a full physical lock on me because I can't even get one on myself. And two. Well, two. Please stop torturing me.
Hey, a multi-doctor story.
You're cute. Yes. So are you.
Oh.
I'm not putting you to work. We're a team. Hi. Did you get it? You did.
This is child labour.
In the doggos, are you? Go away. Now then.
Oh.
Be nice or you won't get a biscuit.
Oh.
Sontarans killed all of his people.
Wait, child tech. Are you having it?
Alright. We don't need to announce it, do we? It's good we help her though.
Oh, there's too many questions. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Agreed.
Good idea.
This is Vinda calling the doctor.
Urgent help requested.
Aha.
Doctor, are you receiving?
Vinda, please, this is our battle now, not yours.
Please, we need to wrap something up.
We've got Yaz and Dan.
He was in all but one episode.
He could have been in about 2.
The final Flux event has begun. It
Oh,
cannot
Christ.
be prevented now.
Maybe the flux will be put inside the passenger.
So what?
Ah, yeah.
You linked to them.
Yay! Closure!
Hooray! Reunions all round.
We're having a meeting.
By the way,
If the universe
he turns and legs it.
How do you combat antimatter?
With matter. Antimatter devours matter, but matter slows antimatter down. Put enough in its way.
Does it even
and
matter?
stops and ceases to-
Sontarans are planning to use their enemies' entire armies
Oh,
in order to
smart.
absorb the Flux.
But they have to show up to lure the others in. Do we warn the Daleks and the Cybermen?
Save them to defeat the Sontarans.
No. My plan's more risky than that.
Oh, good. We kill them all!
My impact may be minimal, but I'll try.
Me every day.
Go, Miss Brown!
Oh no.
Well.
Oh, Joker, no!
Oh dear. That would be me in the face of death as well.
We accept a truce for mutually assured survival.
Surprise, bitch!
You're in the wrong formation! Resume protective bracing! Where are my soldiers? And this is for my people!
Goodbye!
What is happening?
I mean, I think you know what's happening.
Commander, you will suffer for this,
Hmm?
Doctor!
You'll suffer more!
Jericho, can't get the TARDIS.
No.
No!
Not the best supporting character this year.
I've lived more in my time with you than I did during the previous 2 decades.
Oh.
Who has had a life like mine? What an awfully big adventure.
Oh,
Aww. No! We won, but at what cost?
The passenger floor. Inside is endless matter. Can't you use that to absorb what's left of the Flux?
there you go.
And there it is. I knew you'd have
Oh no!
hoover up that Flux for us.
Delicious.
Oh, who's it gonna be?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh,
Huh. Way to play to your ego.
Oh my.
easy.
Oh.
Your time is heading to its end.
Oh.
What do you mean? What do you mean, their master? I restore you, Doctor.
Oh, I wonder.
Reunify you. But for how long? I'm whole again. Am I?
You can make me whole again. Well,
I'm sorry for what the Sontarans
Worth it having him back, wasn't it?
Got quite attached to this ship now.
Yeah.
Spin off, spin
Yeah,
off,
that's a
spin
big
off.
finish waiting to happen.
Get out of trouble.
Yeah.
One family and the dog.
I wish I'd never saved you all. Not stayed, any of you.
I like this regeneration. Hope I meet it again.
In the specials.
Look after
I like her
yourself,
too.
Stuart.
I thought we could finally get that drink.
Do you mind if we don't?
Oh. It's her loss. I can actually spend time with the doctor.
Where you going?
Who'd have thought?
I want to tell you everything.
I'd like that.
Hmm. Oh.
Oh.
Keep this safe. Somewhere deep within this TARDIS. Somewhere I can never find it.
No.
Unless I really ask for it.
Hooray! You're in the same spot as we were before. That was The Vanquishers, the finale of Flux. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I quite enjoyed it. I think it solved a lot of the arcs in the story mainly. The big sort of questions over the division and the fugitive doctors and stuff remain, but I'm not necessarily too fussed because I'm happy to explore that as of when they fancy doing a Time Lord-esque type episode. But I think I think maybe the pandemic sort of hampered explaining that a little bit. They probably did want to do a big exposition thing, but because of maybe limited cast, they couldn't, cast a load of fugitive doctors because, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I think the Swarm and Azure plan was a bit sort of like Tectoon shooting herself in the foot and then Swarm and Azure shooting themselves in the foot. Their plans weren't very competent. They tried to play each other, but they ended up playing themselves. But I still quite like that. I liked the sort of personification of time that it took the sort of form of the people that it was talking to. I think that was pretty cool. Hopefully we get a little bit more exploration of that, and what kind of powers time as an entity has. I liked I think the Sontaran coming back for the finale was a good choice. I quite like their plan. It took a little roundabout way of sort of explaining it. It took a while to explain what they were actually going to be doing. But it was very much a case of, that's what's happening, which I like when it's revealed to you, when you can reveal it, you find out at the same time as the characters, which is good. Belle and Vinda are together, which is good. I'm surprised Vinda didn't die. It looked like he was going to. But luckily they're alive. So it wouldn't surprise me if they come back in the specials next year. And then sadly Jericho did die, which was sad, but as he is a pretty famous actor, I guess you can kind of understand they didn't want to keep paying him the big money to be in the show.
He came back, got his redemption for being
but
in a terrible, terrible story in the classic series, and he's at peace now.
He's fine. That was good. I thought Claire was a little bit unnecessary maybe in this episode. Except for like, we should get her back to 2021. It was tying up a loose end more than anything. But again, she might come back with Kate if they do her, and there's opportunities there again for them to come back. So I feel like a lot of the characters in this have gone off, which expands the universe a lot, which is good. It's what you want to see the show do. I think sort of Kate Stewart and the Grand Serpent was a little bit weak, sort of in the resolution, but again, it also leaves the opportunity for them to come back in the future. As he's not dead, he's just trapped somewhere, so always a chance. And I like the actor. Yeah, I mean, it was one of them villains where I think it needed a little bit more time. If it was just about infiltrating unit and he had a vendetta against Earth, maybe it would have made more sense. But it was just kind of like, how did he even get there in the first place? kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, if they want to explore it more and do it in a better, more in-depth way, I mean, I'm sure I'll be up for it. I'm up for anything. I'm pretty easy. But yeah, I think that's sort of it. I enjoyed it. I think it you know summarized a lot of the stuff that was started in this, which is good. At least some things still open. Obviously, there are still 3-ish episodes of Jodie left, and it seems like they might be. Well, obviously, if you saw the next time it's Daleks and New Year's, which is tradition at this point, and then it seems like the Master will be making his grand return next year with his Cyber Masters or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm excited to see what comes next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well overall. Definitely wanted to rewatch it to properly get my thoughts. There's a few frustrations of how things were used and wrapped up. I'm like, you just didn't need this. They didn't need to be in here. I mean, no, nothing against the actor. I don't care about the Grand Serpent at all. I'd have rather he just been a character for Vinder's backstory and that was it. But you know, it is what it is. But I would very much hope we don't see him again because he just bored me. But I did like the Sontarans coming back. I was a bit nervous about that because like they had a whole episode to themselves already. I didn't know if I wanted them to be the focus again, especially so soon. But I thought it was justified with what their plan was. I thought it was quite clever and quite sneaky of them, and a good way of kind of just wiping out all those villains in one fell swoop. So that worked out well.
Yeah,
I liked how they got rid of the Flux with Passenger. You kind of called that fairly early on the episode, and I thought that was a cool solution to it. A good way of solving that problem. Yeah, Swarm and Azor, they kind of fizzled out for me the last couple of episodes, my interest in them.
Yeah.
They kind of won it back a bit. I really liked the scene with Azor and the Doctor when she was kind of saying what they were all going to do and everything. I thought the actress who played Azor was fantastic in that scene. And then Swarm he didn't really have a presence in this one that much, but yeah, they played themselves with their plan. It kind of like, so that was kind of a shame, but still, they did have some moments. I think it's just a case of there's so much going on in the end that they're kind of just going to have to lose focus because we had Williamson going on, we had the Grand Servant stuff going on, we had Ben Vinder, we had Carvanista, and all his race dying. He's the last one left, and we don't really get time to explore that. So I'm hoping we see him again. I could see a kind of end of time part 2-esque thing in Jodie's last episode, getting all of them back. I imagine maybe because the specials were the same production block as Flux. It makes sense that the same actors are going to keep popping up. So I'm hoping that'll be the case. But we'll have to wait and see. Probably this time next year. We'll just about have found out. So, yeah. Overall, like the main, well, they seem to be like the main villains with Azur and Swarm. Yeah, kudos to the actors. Again, it's just some frustrations. Like they very briefly in like a throwaway line in Once Upon a Time, I kind of missed originally, kind of explaining like how Azur ended up as a human at the start with that random guy who never found out who he was, and they got that thing. She was like, "We didn't see this," and I felt like that was very poorly explained. They could have just not done that.
Yeah.
But again, it's a thing that happened. It's whatever. So there's a few frustrations like that, but I do like having Kate Stewart back in it. I wish she had a bit more and maybe an interesting plot line. But there's time to bring her back again and again. I don't mind that. And yeah, Claire felt a bit like a spare part in this one. But that's more so just wrapping up the storylines, I guess. Although they could have just grabbed her at the end and brought her back home, but it's fine. Jericho, the best man who's ever lived. I really enjoyed his character a lot. He was easily my favourite supporting character, I think, in this series. So it's sad to see him go out like that, but I think it was a nice send-off for him. I thought the actor was great in that last scene. And like, what a grand adventure and stuff. He's facing death. That was great. And yeah, I love the Sontarans. I loved Jodie being split into 3 versions of herself and them all kind of doing their own Atlantics. I thought that was a quite neat idea. I actually thought that might have been what was going to cause her to like slowly regenerate or something, but that got fixed. But they did set up, the end of 13 is very much looming. So that's fine. I'm intrigued by that. Sad that it's, at least for now, not working out with Dan and his woman whose name I've just forgotten.
Diane,
yeah.
Die.
But I think that would just be something to resolve in Jodie's last episode, maybe when Dan leaves, as long as he doesn't die. Diane. But yeah, that's a shame. But they needed John Bishop to keep traveling with them, I guess, and I'm happy with that because I really like it. Really like Dan. Yeah, sad that Carvanistus, all of his species are dead. But yeah, I hope they explore a bit of that. The Bell and Vinda stuff, I'm fine. They're together.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have a kid. They've got a dog now. That's great. So that was a nice kind of resolution. Again, did I need them in this? Probably not. But that's okay. They were there. They were present, and we might see them again. I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be the case. I'm just glad they weren't the Doctor's parents because I would have hated that. So I will take it.
Yeah.
The Ood survived, I think, so that's good. Good old Ood.
Yeah. I mean, he's still sat in the weird room between dimensions.
Yeah,
so...
in between universes, so that's fine. I do wish they kind of lent a bit more into that again. Like they don't seem to want to commit to like saying exactly what division is and what it does and stuff. So I just don't really like. I can't get excited about it because we're just not getting any information about it. So it's just like, why bother if you're not at least gonna tell something about it? So that's kind of frustrating. I can get some people's frustrations with that plot line, but I'm still going to kind of probably hold off on that until the series is said and done, because you never know what they have in store for us. But yeah, there's some cool setup there with Jodie's future, I think, and the Master, who's evidently going to come back. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for New Year's as well. And lots of tension with 13 and Yaz at the end there. That felt very romantic to me. I've never quite been on board with it. I've never quite felt it, but I think that's what they were going for there. I got that tension.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be over in 3 episodes anyway. So it depends how much they're going to choose to explore that. But I think that's what they're going for. Fine. Let's see how it goes, I guess. So that should be an interesting dynamic, I guess. They haven't done Doctor Companion in Love for a couple of years, so why not? When was the last time?
Yeah, since Matt Smith and Clara, I think, ish.
Yeah, that was kind of a question.
It hinted at, because obviously Capaldi wasn't the kind of Doctor that did that.
Yeah, he had a bit with the River, really.
Jodie Whittaker.
It's a Christmas special. That's about it.
So,
it's
I
been
suppose,
a while.
but that's kind of different.
Yeah, it's been a while, but whatever. So we'll see where all that leads. But I'm just excited for the final 3 specials. It's going to take a while, I think, to digest my thoughts on Flux as a whole. I think I'm going to binge it and just see. But I was worried that we weren't going to get a really satisfying conclusion in this one. I felt like with the last weeks, I thought there's still so much to resolve. I do feel satisfied with this as an ending, so that's good. I'm sure there are some things that haven't been explained and could have been done better, could have been cut out, but that's something for people to moan about on YouTube. Us among them in a couple of days when we probably go back and review it. But, for now, I'm quite satisfied with the finale. I'm looking forward to the specials. It's only a couple of weeks away from the next one, so we can get hyped about that. But yeah, overall, I've really enjoyed Flux. I would probably, as it stands right now, I don't obviously have to really think about it. I do think it's probably my favourite Jodie series that we've gotten. I think it's been really, really strong. Obviously, nothing's going to be perfect, but the fact that we got anything even half decent in the conditions that they shot this in, I'm not going to kind of berate them too harshly for it, really. I think they've done a bloody good job, all things considered. Give us some really good villains, some great side characters, a great story overall. And I look forward to that continuing next year for the 3 specials, and then whole new era all over again for people to moan about anew. So I can't wait for that. I'm excited.
Nah, they won't moan about the next. They won't moan about the next series because it's Russell back, so no one's allowed.
They're already moaning about
that.
it. Don't worry.
Not allowed. You're not allowed. No, because everyone was moaning about this, saying it would be. You're not allowed to moan about the next one.
No, definitely not. But they'll find a way.
It's all right. When Russell comes and does something, they'll be like, "Oh, we were too harsh on Chibnall," which is how it always works.
Yeah, they always miss what came before. But that's fans for you. So whatever. For now, though, I'm gonna bask in the enjoyment that I had with Flux. Look forward to the specials. And yeah, I guess we'll see you in a couple of weeks for that. And check out Connor's channel as well, where we actually review the episodes in depth. We'll be doing that in a few days for this one. And we're doing New Who from the start as well. We're currently on series 4. Just did Partners in Crime.
Don't forget that. Oh,
Don't forget about that. I need to watch that now.
oh,
But,
that's still going. Yeah.
But yes, that's going to be it for now. Obviously, we had a few internet issues and demons and stuff to deal with, and syncing issues with this one because we can't be in the same room right now. But that's
Bloody
fine.
government.
God damn it! God, you had to go on holiday, didn't you? You had to have a good time, didn't you?
I know.
Going away.
I had to have a good time.
God damn it! But anyway, that's fine. Hopefully it all worked out okay. Hope you've enjoyed these reactions to Flux. If you haven't, don't let me know. Don't comment. Just move on. So yeah, that'll be it for now. We'll see you in a few weeks for whatever the hell the special's called. I don't think they said. But until then, have a lovely day. Goodbye.